Bulls fans. DeMar DeRozan passes 20,000 points in a loss to the San Antonio Spurs, man. This was a game that's unfortunate because the Bulls could have very well won this game. I talked about, I should say, how I expected the starters not to play a lot of minutes. It ended up not being that. DeMar still plays 36 minutes, goes 11 for 20 from the field. Nikola Vucevic plays 25 minutes, his worst game of the season, only 9 points, has a plus-minus of -15. How does that play into when they eventually get to playing, or they play the 76ers on set tomorrow? Is going to watch out. Desumu, -22 plus-minus on this game, 5 for 10 from the field. Caruso hasn't shot the ball well all season. Andre Drummond having a big game off the bench, 17 and 14 for Drummond off this bench. Kobe White woke up, 19 points for him. Goran Dragic 3 for 8 from the field, doing Goran Dragic-like things. But at the end of the day, this is a game that the Bulls should have very well won. And the fact that they didn't win it is concerning. 9 for 27 from the field, good for 33%. The defense did not stand up in this game at all. They did have 13 steals, 20 assists on 47 made buckets. Isn't terrible. It isn't great either. 52 points in the paint from the Bulls in this one. They tie the rebounding battle, but this was just an unfortunate loss, man. This is not one that you want to see. I don't know, man. This was just a game. The Bulls very well could have won this game, and they probably should have won this game. Patrick Williams plays 20 minutes, still having a productive game from Patrick Williams, 4 for 7 from the field, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, plus-minus of -7. Honestly, the best plus-minus of any of the starters in this game. Patrick Williams showing up big time in this one. It was just unfortunate. That's the only way that I can really categorize it and word it. It was just unfortunate. The Bulls should have won this game, man. Them losing against an inferior opponent. It's such a weird season so far from the Bulls, who are a 500 team right now. Winning against teams that coming into this season that maybe people would have picked that they would lose against. Losing against teams that people thought that they should have won against. Like, it's just a loss like this is just so frustrating, especially when they had a chance. Going on an 8-0 run, letting Keldon Johnson go off for 33 points in this game. Man, it just sucks, right? It sucks, man. Let's go ahead and go to the comments. Alvin says, need better communication on D. Absolutely. Big Poppy Mofongo. Okay, that's new. Billy Donovan should have go with Patrick Williams when he was going. Absolutely. MC Season in the building says, painful because we had the lead, but it is what it is. Yeah. Man. I was right about tonight. I didn't see what you said about tonight, Bill. So I can't even co-sign you there. The way I see it, the one person that should have been in the game late for the defensive purposes should have been Patrick Williams, because he made some key plays on the defensive end. And yes, I mean, Patrick Williams had a solid game all around on both sides of the ball this game. And he's improving, right? If anything that we're going to take away from this, he's playing pretty well. The Bulls says, I'm sorry, I don't like to complain about refs, but the calls down the stretch were atrocious. Also, the quick shots Bulls took were awful. Yes, when the Bulls aren't playing in transition, right? It's fine with the quick offense when you're getting the rebounds and you're pushing it, or you get turnovers, things like that. But they were just jacking up shots towards the end there that just, again, just a frustrating ass loss. Frustrating ass loss, man. I'm convinced the bench cares more than the starters about, well, I wouldn't say that. The bench just plays with a different energy and intensity level. I feel like the starters try to be more methodical, but the bench players just come in and they just are like reckless abandon in this bitch. I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, another solid game from the bench. 40 points again from the bench, which is usually, if you get 40 points from your bench, I would like to see a breakdown on how many teams get 40 points from their bench and still lose the game. That's crazy. That's crazy. Name says, did you announce the winner of the giveaway yet? No, I'm actually announcing that on the mailbag episode that drops tomorrow morning. So be on the look for that. Man, Haize, no, I don't. Like, y'all, like, every black person with a beard, y'all don't look like. I don't look nothing like C-Note. Like, nothing. Nothing at all. Like, come on, man. Y'all gotta come better with your comparisons than that. You gotta come better. Don't look nothing like C-Note at all. That motherfucker's head is shaped like a eraser that's been used about 300 times. That motherfucker don't look nothing like me, bro. Come on now. Alana, hey y'all, I didn't watch the game tonight, but I saw that Vooch didn't have a good game from the box score. I didn't see his defense or how he was on the floor, so I can't put in all my takes. See, that is a great point from Alana. Some people just look at the box score and then try to act like they saw the game. The fact that Alana is admitting she didn't see the game, but Vooch didn't play very well tonight. He just didn't. Jakob Porto got that man's number, period. Brendan Eljet, the Spurs getting into that category, they always have the Bulls' numbers. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it looks like that's going to be true, right? But F it. Whatever the Spurs do is what the Spurs do. This team, like the Bulls, had more than an opportunity, more than enough chances to win this game. They did not win the game, and it was because of their own doing. It was because partly the coaching staff too. Billy Donovan should have settled them down and let them know to stop jacking up shots. Like there was a lot of things that went wrong down the stretch that had they tightened those things up, you can definitely see them winning the game. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. All that don't matter. They lost this game, and the Spurs deserved to win with the weather they played. Jamoy says, we managed to lose to all 9 playoff teams so far this year. So, well, again, we don't know who's going to be a playoff team or not. Can't really go off last season. How did Porto only have 1 foul? Because the refs swallowed their damn whistles when it came to Porto. But no, Porto played really solid defense. Fan of the Bulls aside, like it was just the Bulls just didn't play well, man. 130 points to the Spurs, unbelievable. It's crazy, man. Like, no, like why people ask, like, have you been watching the season? Vooch has played well on both sides of the ball. No, Drummond should not start over Nikola Vucevic at all, under any stretch of the imagination. Vooch was fucking chitterlings. First of all, the fact that you spelled out chitterlings, you going to MVP there, it was bad, man. Shay in the building. I love Vooch, but at the same time, when Andre Drummond is the one that's getting offensive rebounds and giving you nearly 15 points and 15 rebounds, you have to stay with him. I'm just saying, well, he's not giving you that. He's not giving you that. Now, this game, yes. But keep in mind, too, that Drummond is a very limited offensive player. Vooch was bad this game. But Vooch has been playing well over the course of the season, but this game just was not it. This game was not it. Hallway says, Billy, shaking my head. Yeah, man. Miss says, still got to give. Yeah, shout out to Debo for entering the 20,000 points club. I wish it would have came. I really wish it would have came on a win, but, woulda, coulda, shoulda on that one. The Bulls need to take a look at themselves and hopefully come out against. If we can get a win against the 76ers tomorrow, I'm not even worried about this loss. The resting Zach on back-to-backs, yes, is super frustrating, super disappointing, but it kind of is what it is. Nolan says, I really don't understand why they've told you why Zach isn't playing. Zach had off-season surgery. They're going to rest him on back-to-backs. They're taking care of their investments. That's all you need to understand. That doesn't mean you need to agree with it. Be clear. I'm not saying you need to agree with it. I don't agree with it. But they are trying to protect their investment. They're trying to make sure that he's going to be fully ready to go and healthy by the playoffs. But I'll tell you what, we can't have too many games like this, or the playoffs aren't going to be a question. I'm glad to see P. Will's confidence starting to grow. He had a real solid game. Keep stacking good games. Yeah, we're at 3 games in a row of P. Will being solid, this being the best one. I said it before. They are building P. Will's confidence bit by bit, and it's paying off so far. Brian Washington says, it was coaching to me. Pop outcoached Don. He always outcoaches him. Always outcoaches him. Hey, Haize, I'm getting concerned with the Bull season. with this Zach situation? How can the Bulls get in rhythm with this back-to-back issue? It can cause no. The fact of the matter is that managing happens to every team. Every team. Clay was being the Bulls can get in rhythm without it. The key thing is that it may even help the rhythm even more, the fact that they have to learn to play and who's going to step up when Zach isn't there. But at the end of the day, listen, it is what it is. He's going to sit. They have to figure it the fuck out. Period. Mike in the building, he says Vooch needs to never shoot a three again. Listen, it's almost at that point for real. It's almost at that point. Bully says this was a battle of the coaches and Pop won it for real, for real. The rotations Donovan be putting out there is questionable. I mean, why DT isn't getting even garbage minutes? Listen, this happens to rookies. Same thing happened to Jimmy Butler's rookie season. Don't let the fact that Dalen Terry is not getting minutes be an indictment on his season. He's doing still development. He's getting development, being out there practicing. You can better believe their development coaches are working with him. Coaches are working with him night in and night out. He's still developing, but at the end of the day, this is a team that's trying to compete. And there are people ahead of him that are veterans, that are ready, that you can bet on more than you can bet on Dalen Terry. And while we want to see Dalen Terry, I want to see Dalen Terry. I would love for Dalen Terry to get 10 minutes tonight. You got to look at where this team is specifically. Now, I did think that they were going to get he was going to get more minutes with Zach being out, but, it is what it is. Mike says, I'm on shrooms right now, and you look super cool. Well, first off, thank you for that, but Jesus, you on shrooms, bro? Shrooms? Shout out to you, brother. I got to disagree with you here, Mr. Bad Guy. I don't think his bad play was the main reason they lost. It definitely contributed to the loss, but I can't say it was the main reason. Them doing the quick shots and taking bad shots, I think was a bigger impact than Nikola Vucevic. Billy Donovan's play calling, specifically defensively down the stretch, the defensive scheme left a lot to be desired. I think that was a bigger part than Vooch having a down game. The Bulls very well could have won this game, even with Vooch having the game that he did. I can't say that it's the main part to me, but I can't take away from you feeling that either, brother. Melvin says, this loss is on Billy Donovan. Should have never taken Andre Drummond out for a struggling Vooch. In this game, I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. Ricky Fontaine says, how about this? Would y'all rather the Bulls manage Zach, who's fresh out of rehab, or would you rather him play back-to-back games and work his knees to the point he re-injures himself? Exactly. Listen, as fans, we want what we want. And sometimes we aren't patient enough. But yeah. Too many turnovers and shooting drought late in the fourth sealed it. Absolutely, bro. TL Beat says, heartbreaking loss. We'll be back at it tomorrow. If we can get the W against Philly and Brooklyn, this loss will be almost irrelevant. That is a great point, brother. I didn't even think about the Brooklyn aspect of it. But yeah, this Bulls team has a lot of games back-to-back-to-back. Well, not a lot of back-to-back. They have back-to-backs, but they have a lot of games in a condensed amount of period. They got to figure it out, man. And hopefully, I trust that they will. If Zach was in this game, it looks completely different. But at the end of the day, they're going to do what they're going to do with Zach. They got to learn to combat it. Oh, absolutely, Italo. To be honest, not many people can outcoach Vooch. Yeah, that's just a fact. That's just a fact. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Muhammad says, I was watching the game and I'm wondering, where did we go wrong and lose the game? Were we getting out rebounded or out hustled, or were they just scoring every play? If you watch the game, you should know that. I got to throw some fun at you. But all jokes aside, it was a combination of everything. Bad defense, bad shot taking, not rebounding, bad decision making, foul calls. It was really a combination of everything. Shay says, look on the bright side. At least we're doing better than the Punk. What does that matter? The Lakers aren't in our conference. That's not on the bright side. Fuck the Lakers. The Brooklyn Nets, listen, that was a team. I've said the Brooklyn Nets may very well end up being the Boston Celtics of this year, where they look very bad early but get it together. Crazy Boy Play says, what up, Haize? Not too happy with the Bulls. Not too happy with the Bulls. Not going to lie. I'm just not going to watch any more games the Bulls play without Zach. I wish I could just slap all people who underperform on the Bulls each game. Listen, that's the thing though, right? Like, I don't even want to just blame it on the Zach LaVine of it all, because they could have won this game without Zach. It's an execution. They got to find a way to execute regardless. And in that starting lineup, they have to keep up that intensity. They have to keep it up. And honestly, I'm going to say this, and this may be controversial. I'm almost over Alex Caruso in the starting lineup only because Caruso is shooting like shit. And at the end of the day, while Ayo Dosunmu has shown that he's better prepared to take on a bigger offensive load, you still almost need a better scorer, at least somebody who can shoot the ball better. So far on the season, Alex Caruso is shooting the ball 38% overall from the field and 30% from three-point range. That is just not good shooting, man. It's not. Now, he's doing pretty well at everything else in the game, but listen, and I know this is going to be controversial, like I said, but I'm almost at the point where I'm ready to say, start Kobe White instead of Alex Caruso when Zach's out. At least he does bring some scoring. His off-the-ball defense has improved. And if he's just not shooting the ball well, if Kobe does the 0 for 3 thing to start, sit his ass down. Bring in Goran at this point. Bring in Alex Caruso at that point, right? But I'm almost over Alex Caruso in the starting lineup. Yes, he does add defense. Yes, he does add the ability to get steals. Yes, he's a pretty good passer. But all those things we can say about Ayo Dosunmu as well. And Ayo's a better offensive player, but we need more offense at times. I'm almost ready to say Alex Caruso, when Zach's out, doesn't need to be the starter anymore. We need to move on from that. Alex Larez, at the very least, whatever team Pop coaches will be a regular season contender. Pop doesn't tolerate Lakers level buffoonery. Could you imagine Coach Popovich being the coach of the Lakers right now? That'd be crazy. The Education James says, yes, DeMar should play tomorrow's game. Is a lot more important, and the Sixers are coming off a back-to-back as well. Should be a good one. Oh, tomorrow's game is going to be a good game, and we're going to have a good live stream as well. If DeMar doesn't drop 45 with Zach out, well, that's not true. We started off the season with Zach out in 1, and DeMar didn't score 45. So, no, not at all. Stefan says, when Zach out, start Kobe. Ayo and Kobe work well. Yes, they do. And remember, they built some chemistry off the bench as well. Brian Washington says, yes, totally agree. Start Kobe. That's where I'm at with this, bro. Steve-O says, yeah, I'm just going to smoke and drink the night away. Anyone? Listen here. Focus, goddammit. There, come on. Get it. Oh, fuck it. Listen. Camera's autofocus is slow as shit. Slow as shit. Realistically, the Bulls are a real starting big defensive power forward next to Vooch and 2 defensive three-point shooters away from really contending. That's all we're missing. What? 2 defensive three-point shooters? And no, we're not three-point. Like, what? What the fuck? No. I wouldn't even say we're that far away. We do need another power forward. I would say that. But I think we're a legit 2-way power forward away, and that's really it. I really think that's it. And Zach LaVine being healthy. That's one of the biggest keys. Even the camera drunk right now. That shit's focused, man. I mean, my energy is off. I'm not gonna lie to you. My energy is way off because watching this game was bullshit. That's all I can say. This game was bullshit. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm sorry if I'm gonna shortchange you guys. And I will have all 3 pregame, halftime, and postgame for you guys tomorrow. But the stream is not going to go as long tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and warn you guys of that now. The stream is not going to go as long as it usually does. We're almost at 20 minutes now. We'll probably go another 5 minutes because I'm just pissed off with this team. Like, seeing this effort from this team, a team that was missing Devin Vassell, it's just, I don't know, man. This is some bullshit, fam. Drummond needs to start scoring. I get the rebounds, but we need points, and he lets a lot of people get through. Well, Drummond isn't a scorer. If you're expecting Drummond to score more than what he has, then you're expecting too much from him. This isn't young Drummond. Drummond, in his, and especially when they're not there, and the Bulls aren't using him heavy in pick and roll, which is his best asset. But Drummond in this game had 17 points. That's about the most you can expect from Drummond in a Bulls uniform. It's not going to be much more than that. I figured that, Haize. What did you mean? What did I miss? Not only missing Vassell, but the dead-ass cut Primo 30 minutes before the game. Listen, not saying that the Bulls should pick up Primo, but I'm not saying that they shouldn't cut Tony Bradley and pick up Primo. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And Lonzo being healthy. Yes, it's a very good point. Very good point there. Drummond needs to start scoring. He had the season high tonight. Y'all got to stop smoking for like fans, bro. Pat isn't concerned with the loss. Talk some sense into that man on Locked On. Pat, listen, this is the thing about Pat the designer, and I love Pat. Y'all know Pat's my dude. But Pat is one of the people who he likes to be able to say, "Oh, I told you so." Like even if he didn't say it before, he'd be like, "Oh, I could have told you that would have happened." Pat's a front runner. That's all Pat knows how to do. I love Pat. But Pat is if you ever notice, Pat very rarely ever admits, "Oh, I was wrong on that." He'll always say, "Oh, that made sense. I knew that was going to happen. I figured that was going to happen. That's the only outcome that made sense." And he'd be like, "Nigga, you ain't say none of that shit when we was talking about that. You ain't say none of that shit." That's just how Pat is, though, bro. COD says, at least Pat will show him. Yeah, listen, as you guys have noticed, I stopped calling him Passive P. I'm back to calling him P. Will because he's back being Pre-Will. Ben Swizzle says, watch us be great after the All-Star break for taking it a bit easy. I mean, that's very well what could happen as well, especially with resting Zach. This team could be very well fresh. As much as I shitted on Patrick Williams early in the season, he was having a good game today and should have closed out the game too. Agreed with you there, brother. Definitely agree with you there. Do you think Kobe and Dragic finishing the game at the same time is a bit of a defensive liability, like maybe Dragic, but have Io playing over Kobe to finish the game? Well, I think they had him out there because they needed, in case that he got a wide open 3-point shot. But at this point, I'm all with anything that's like Io over anybody. I'm for, because Io's been taking huge leaps this season with his aggression and things like that. For Zach, if Zach can't solve his knee issues and we get bad news from Lonzo after his reevaluation and Lonzo don't return by the end of the All-Star break, the Bulls are going to be in a hell of a trouble. I don't agree with that at all. I don't. For the future of this team, honestly, I'm fine with Lonzo not returning this season. An entire season of Io being at the starting point guard will secure our short-term and long-term future. I see where you're coming from with that. Ricky Fontaine, hey, you said the inbound without stopping yourself. That shit was real. Hey, listen. I can't be nothing but real on this show, man. Can't do nothing but be real on this show. Reginald Short says, do you think Pat needs to crash the boards more when the ball is in the air? That's one of the things that I don't care about the offensive side of the ball when it comes to Pat. But now in games like this when Zach's out, yes. But generally when everybody's in there, there's so many scores out there. I like whatever Pat gives, I want to see him take the shots aggressively, right, that he gets. But the things that I want to see, solid defense, crashing the offensive boards on both sides. But when he gets offensive boards, put it back up strong and try to dunk it. That's what I want to see from Pat Williams. JD8 says, all will be well when we win tomorrow. Shout out from your mouth to God's ears, brother. I got to disagree with this as well. Vooch has been more consistent than any other player on this team. This is the first game where you can say that Vooch was a net negative. But Vooch has been damn good, solid, and consistent. And he was consistent. He was probably our most consistent player in the playoffs. Vooch is very well consistent this season. Now, last season, I would agree with you. Mike says, trade Vooch for 03 Shaq. That's crazy. Ricky Fontaine says, truthfully, the problem that's starting is Billy is punishing Pat with replacing him with someone that isn't producing squat. Derrick Jones Jr. is outplaying Javonte. Listen, Javonte's had a couple of good games, but Javonte has not looked that good either this season. So, Vooch has been real consistent, to be honest, at least so far. Yeah, that's it. Like, I'm surprised anybody would even say Vooch has been inconsistent. Vooch has been damn good consistent this season. Like, damn consistent this season. Now, let's see how he plays against Embiid. That's going to tell a lot. Last question, which may sound stupid to you. Would you consider the Bulls to take a look at signing either LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMarcus Cousins, or Hassan Whiteside? I feel no, because we have Andre Drummond. We need a more mobile and four who can shoot. DeMarcus Cousins, that man's legs, he can't play the four. LaMarcus Aldridge, no, he can't play the four. Again, I'd be more interested in those players if we did not have Andre Drummond on this team. Because we have Andre Drummond, no. Uriel says, we lost this one purely on the lack of energy and hustle in the fourth. Couldn't have said it any better myself, brother. Hopefully, we get a better outcome tomorrow. Hopefully, with this team wakes up a little bit. Zach will hopefully be back tomorrow as well. It's probably, you can bet on him, but I don't want to act like it's a foregone conclusion. But yeah, hopefully this team has a much better output tomorrow night and much better chemistry, much better play calling. Billy Donovan took a brain fart in the fourth. We got to see this team improve, period. Hopefully we get to see that, man. But yeah, that's it. But I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Like I said, my mood, I'm fucked up. I'm not even going to lie to you. My mood is fucked. This game pissed me the fuck, specifically in the fourth quarter. All throughout the rest of the game, it kind of just is what it is. The fourth quarter in this game pissed me the fuck off, period. And so because of that, unfortunately, my mood's fucked. My attitude's fucked. I'm a little drunk. I'm just going to admit that. It is what it is there. But make sure you're following the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail for tomorrow's mailbag episode, get those in. The number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related because of you guys. And by the way, we'll be announcing the giveaway tomorrow as well for who won the Bulls jersey that we're going to give away for hitting 9,000 subscribers. But the next giveaway, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is December 5th. So we got about 5 weeks to do so. Got about 5 weeks to get there. I need us to get to 10,000 subscribers by then. If you're watching this channel for the first time and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Make sure everybody who's been here, most people who watch the videos daily aren't subscribed, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to that 10,000 mark by December 5th, so let's hit that in. But that is it for us for today. Love you guys, man. Go Bulls. See red. Peace, y'all.